Hello, Sudoku friends, and welcome to one of these Chinese, I think, 6-star difficulty Sudokus. I don't know if this is difficult or hard or easy or diabolical. We'll have to wait and see. This is the last upload today before tomorrow's trip to the countryside for the next 7, 8, or 9 days. I'm not quite sure yet how long I will be gone. Let's start looking at these eights. They are very easy to spot. They force an 8 to go here. The 9 forces a 1 to go here and a 9 to go here. So much for a very smooth beginning. There's a 3 here and here blocking across like so. And there's a 3 coming down here blocking here. So this is a 3. Sevens, yes, a couple of 7s blocking over here. And the 7 blocking up from the bottom row makes this a 7. What else do we have? Well, there's a 3 blocking over here and a 3 blocking up here. So one of these is a 3, and we have a 3 down here blocking this square. So this must be a 3. These 3s block over here, and the 3 blocks from down here, making this a 3. What does that give me? Well, a couple of 7s in these squares. A 7 blocking over, a 7 blocking down, 7 blocking down, making this a 7. Sometimes these puzzles can start very, very easily, and then as the solution progresses, they become increasingly more difficult. I'm not yet sure what this puzzle is going to be like. The 5 blocks here and the 5 blocks over here, so one of these must be a 5, and therefore a 5 will have to go in one of these 3 squares in the bottom row. The 5 blocks over here and the 5 blocks up here, so one of these is a 5, and therefore this square must be a 5. Like so. So 5 here, 5 here, one of these is a 5, one of these is a 5, one of these is a 5, and we got a 5 up and down here, so yes. So I guess all of these 3 squares could be a 5. But I do see 2 9s blocking up. This square is the only one in this column that can contain a 9. And now it becomes a little bit more difficult. One of these must be a 6. I thought we had a 2-6 pair going on here, but we don't, because we can have a 2 and 3 squares over here. So that is not it. However, we have 3 empty squares here, and they have to be a 1, 5, and a 7. And look here, we got a 1 and a 7 in this row, so this is a 5. And that makes this a 5. Can we find more 5s? No, one of these must be a 5, and 5, 5, and one of these must be a 5. But it's okay, because now we just need to find a 1 and a 7 for these 2 squares, and that should be easy because this 1 blocks over here, making this a 7, and this a 1. So we have a 1 and a 5 blocking here, and we have a 1 and a 5, 1 and a 5 blocking here. So in fact, these two have to be a 1 and a 5. That should be clear. And that means that 2 will have to go here or here because the 2 blocks down here. But a 1 and a 5, let's look at this row for which we still will need a 2, 4, 6, and a 9. It's a 2, 6 here, so this is a 4 or a 9. Now, too complicated. No, but what am I talking about? Look at the 9 blocking over here. One of these is a 9. And by the way, the other is a 2. 2 and a 9 blocking over here. These two squares must be a 9 and a 2. Let's deal with the 9. The 9 blocks down here. The 9 blocks here, so this is a 9. The 2 blocks down here, so this is a 2. Yes. And that makes this square a 4. Now we have a 4 up here, and we have a 4 in one of these squares here. 1, 2, and 9 here. We got a 9 and a 2 here. Therefore, this is a 1. Now one of these must be a 1. We also have a 4 up here somehow. Let's see if we can get to what the last digit is. Maybe later. But a 2, 9 here. Then we need a 4, 7. I can already see the 7 blocks here, so this is a 7. So these are 4 and 6. And since we found this 7, we now have 7s blocking over here. And we have a 7 blocking here. And this is now a 7. I need to take this phone call. Hang on. So phone call over and done with. Thank you for your patience. The 8 blocks over here. The 8 blocks over here. The 8 blocks over here. So this square must be an 8. And that makes this an 8. Now we just have to deal with one empty square in this row number 3, and that should be possible. It needs to be a 6. So one of these is a 6. And well, that's all we can say. But can we do something with these 4 empty squares? A 1 must go up here somewhere. 2, 3, 4. What about a 4? No. 7, 9. Not really. Let me look down here and see what is going on here. A 9 and a 4 and a 1. No, that doesn't ring any bells, except that these two being a 4 and a 6, making these a 2 and a 9, and this is a 2 and a 9, and I bet that this is not a 2 or a 9. But there's a pattern here. There's a 6 and a 2 here. There's a 2 and a 6 here. So a 2 and a 6 will have to go in these 3 squares somehow. We need a 2, 6, 4, and a 5 for these 4 squares. So this cannot be a 2 or a 6, and this cannot be a 2 or a 6. So these two must be a 4 and a 5, making this a 2 and a 6, and this a 2 and a 6. So I think I misspoke. These must be a 4 and an 8. 4 and an 8. 2 and a 6, 2 and a 6. And here's a neat little observation. We need a 4, 8, and a 5 for these squares, don't we? Now that we know that these have to be a 4 and an 8, this square now must be a 5. And that makes this a 5. And this, therefore, a 1. That's neat. So a 1 blocking up here, a 1 blocking down here makes this a 1. Now, 1 blocking over here, 1 blocking over here, and 1 blocking up here makes this a 1. And that makes this a 1. These two now have to be a 4 and a 9. We have a 4 in the row, so this is a 9 and this is a 4. These two were a 4 and a 6. We have a 4 in the row now, so this is a 6 and this is a 4. We got a 6 blocking over and a 6 blocking down, making this a 6. And therefore this must be a 6, and this must be a 6, and this therefore a 4. And therefore this is a 4. This must be an 8, and this therefore a 2, and this is a 2. These two have to be an 8, and the 8 blocks here, so this is an 8 and a 9. Making this a 9, this a 2, no, sorry, a 9, and this a 2, and this a 2, and this is a 4. That makes this a 4, and now we know that this is an 8 and this is a 4. These were 2 and 6. Now the 2 has been taken, so this is a 6. These two must be a what? A 2 and a 3. We got a 2 in the row, making this a 3, and this a 2. This now must be a 8. The two last squares must be a 3 and a 5. And the 3 goes here, and the 5 goes here. That's it. This was a 6-star, so I think that the publisher thought that this was a hard or very hard puzzle. I don't know. I think it was quite approachable, and I hope that you enjoyed it as well. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.